What is going on, everybody? We are back to start up another series of our No Frills Halloween Horror Nights construction updates over here at Universal Studios, Florida. Today is Thursday, June 25th, and it is shaping up to be a really good season so far. It is the 35th anniversary of the event. They're not wasting any time getting started on the construction. We're not going to waste any time. We don't do that around here. Go ahead and get started over here at the front of the park in front of the arches. They've already set up the trusses here for the lighting on the medallion and everything, in addition to adding the lighting to the trusses. I don't think they've ever done it this early. As far as I can remember that I've been covering the construction over here, I don't think they've ever started with the lighting on top of the trusses this early. So pretty sure that they've got all the lighting installed on these trusses already. It's kind of amazing that they've already got it done, but they're ready to go. These black poles here with the lights on top of them, these are pretty much here all year round. These aren't for the event itself. It's just the silver trusses here that they've added for the event right now. Let's go ahead and head on into the park and take a look at everything they have done so far. Next thing to go over is all of the lights that they have installed over here in the production central area. It's pretty easy to tell the new ones versus the ones that are permanently installed all year round. The new ones are usually all black, mounted up on these poles here, whereas the permanent ones are usually the same color as the building to kind of hide them throughout the normal day-to-day operations. Not too many lights installed for the event so far. Only seeing a couple up here in this area, but I'm sure they'll probably add a few more as we get closer to the event. Looks like they've added another one over here in this corner as well to shine across the pathway onto the other side, but yeah, that one right there in the center. They got these two guys over here installed on top of the bathroom building next to the Today Cafe. Over here next to the Minion Mayhem ride, they have the trusses set up to lead down that pathway over there by the old Nickelodeon Studios. I'm honestly kind of surprised that they put these up over here with all of the construction going on with the Fast and Furious coaster. I wasn't too sure if they were going to open up this pathway like they did last year, because the construction runs right through it. We can see here on these photos from the infamous Bio Reconstruct. Shows the construction is pretty heavy back there, but yeah, from these trusses it looks like at some point before the event they will get done with all that construction so that we can walk back there and get to those houses, those sound stages back there where FNAF and Wyatt and all that stuff was last year. Going to go ahead and make our way over through the Hollywood section of the park and take a look at all of the lights and a few trusses that they have added over here. There's a ton of lights that they have put up to cover. We'll go ahead and get started over here by the Brown Derby. On top of this building, they've added this lighting package up here. Same thing as the front. You can kind of tell the difference. It's all black lighting versus the other ones that are a little bit more kind of like a silvery gray color. The black ones are the new ones versus the kind of silvery gray ones are the ones that are up all year round. Got this big piece of truss work over here by the Brown Derby. It's usually where they hang some kind of banner to welcome you into this scare zone. So that's what this is about. We'll probably see some lights or some kind of decoration added to this at some point. Do a couple of really zoomed in shots on these. I'm sure there's some lighting nerds out there that love to see the details on these lights. A lot of them are gobos. They can block off the sides to really direct the lights and add graphics and designs to the lights, but they've got some general lights as well to just kind of add the ambient lighting to the area. We're going to take a few minutes to cover all of the lights that they have added into this section. We're only going to cover new lights every week, so this week will be quite a few minutes covering everything, but next week we're only going to cover the new lights that they have added, so it's likely will be the last time that we go over these lights in Hollywood because they've added so many already. I think they may have added them all at this point, so yeah, we'll just take a few minutes to cover all of the new lighting that they have added over here for the event. I will use some graphics on the display here to highlight the new ones that they have added for the event. That way to help differentiate from the pre-existing lights that are up all year round. Over here in front of the dark room and the 5 and dime, they've got these kind of T-style trusses set up with the motorized lights on top. They will program these lights to kind of move around to the music or whatever may be going on in the event. So yeah, these are just kind of parked facing down right now, but during the event they'll be moving around, shining in different areas. I am almost positive that these lights on top of the horror makeup show are here all year round, but just in case, we'll go ahead and take a look at them. In this little Battery Park section over here, they have the kind of bar restaurant set up since Finnegan's is closed. So all of these trusses back here have been set up for a while, but once the event starts, they're just going to leave them, I'm sure, and transition them over to Horror Night stuff. Continuing on our adventure here, we'll make our way into Central Park, where they have already set up the massive entrance trussway over here. I'm not too sure about Hollywood right now. I've heard various things about the Scare Zone, but this one is pretty much shaping up to be Fort Nightmares. They've got a lot of lights already added to the trusses. They are not messing around with the lights. They haven't wasted any time adding these. It's pretty much, it seems like it's all the lights are over here already. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on it. Over here on the side of the Cafe La Bamba bar, where they put the food booth for this section over here, they have already added a few of the trusses to kind of get things started. No lighting yet, but they've got a couple of trusses set up over here already. They have put up the trusses over here on the side of the pathway on those new concrete planters that they installed last year. And they've added the lights to them as well. Down here at the bottom of them, we've got these lights that are pointed up into the sky. We'll see if they leave them pointed up in that direction, but right now pretty much all of the ones at the bottom of them are pointed up towards the sky. And then we've got a couple of the gobos on top of each of the trusses pointed down a little bit as well. This tower over here in front of the NBC Preview Center only has one light facing up at the bottom, but it's got a ton of lights up there at the top facing down. They're not messing around in this Scare Zone. It is going to be well lit over here. Don't see any speakers back here on the side of the path yet, but I'm sure they'll be added in here soon enough. As I'm making my way through here, it looks like the majority of these towers have a lot more than 2 lights on the top. So, like I said earlier, it's definitely going to be well lit back here. And then finally, for this main pathway section, we've got this very strange looking truss over here. It's kind of L-shaped looking thing. A lot of theories as to exactly what this is going to be for, but hopefully we'll find out soon enough. It's pretty interesting looking. Over here at the end of the Central Park pathway, they've got another truss with a bunch of lighting set up on the top of it as well. Over here at the end of the Scare Zone, it looks like they have decided to bring it back further over here in front of the animal actors stage into this little courtyard area. Give it some more room to breathe. We've got this stage set up back here. You can see this kind of opening over here, so definitely going to be some scare actors getting up there somehow and scaring you from above, as well as a bunch of lighting on top of these trusses back here. So really happy that they decided to extend the Scare Zone out. This Central Park Scare Zone is usually one of my favorites. It's really cramped in here. Usually do a really good job, and since they've extended it out back here, it's just made it that much better. So I'm really excited to see what they do. I do think it is going to be Fort Nightmare, so not sure how I feel about that, but time will tell to see exactly what they do with it and how it is. This piece of truss over here in front of the entrance to the animal actor stage isn't really for the Scare Zone. It's really more for the food booths that are over here behind the Scare Zone itself. We'll make a really quick stop over here on the side of the Simpsons ride. Take a look at these sprung tents, aka Truckgate 2026. If you've been watching Kevin's videos, you'll totally get it. They were doing some work. They had the mecha trucks over here, but it seems like they didn't like everybody seeing what was going on, so they have since stopped Not too sure what's going on, but not much activity at this time. We'll have to wait a little bit longer. We do have some trusses set up back there where the lines are for those two houses way back there behind Men in Black, but otherwise not too much going on over here right now. Continuing our way around the park past Men in Black, we've got a few trusses set up over here. These two will lead you back to the two houses behind Men in Black over there. They'll have signage on them letting you know what houses are back there and the wait times for them. We've got this smaller truss over here in front of the old Nightmare Fuel stage. No more Nightmare Fuel girls this year, but whatever the new stage show is, you'll see signage on these two trusses over here for that stage show. And then on the big frame here where they'll have the banner for the stage show, they've installed the lights up here for them as well, in addition to a couple of lights across from them to light up that banner. We'll take a real quick look at the stage show back there to see if we can see anything going on. Not too much right now, a few pieces of trusses with the lighting on them, but not too much else that we can see right now. Hopefully we will see some more stuff popping up soon, but yeah, right now not too much going on. They are some pretty interesting looking trusses back there though. They've got kind of like a arch shape to them, so pretty excited for the stage show this year. I was admittedly quite a bit over the Nightmare Fuel show, so from what I hear of the new show, I think it's going to be pretty damn good. We're going to take a real quick stroll through Diagon Alley, as it's been pretty much confirmed that the Death Eaters will be returning this year. They've got a few set pieces set up back there for it, so yeah, we'll go ahead and take a quick look at those. Over here behind the candy shop, we've got kind of the main stage over here. The usual setup with the grill down there at the bottom for the lights and the smoke to shine up through, the green lights for the Death Eaters. Usual stuff. I don't think anything's going to be too different than years prior. Over here by the blacksmith wand activation point, we've got a little setup with some props for the lights and the smoke and the fog to come out of them. No lights installed in this one yet, but soon enough. Back here by the stage show where the money exchange is, we've got another little setup with some props and stuff. No lights installed in them yet, but soon enough. I take that back. This one over here does have some lights installed in it, so you can see the kind of reflector pieces peeking through back there. So yeah, some of them do have the lights installed in them. Back here by the Gringotts stairs, they've got another setup with the props and everything over here for the lighting and the smoke effects. This one does have the lights installed in it already as well. Back here at the exit on the back side of Nocturne Alley, they've got another setup with some props over here as well for the lighting and the smoke effects. And then as usual back here in Nocturne Alley, we've got a couple of set pieces back in here as well. And finally for back here, we've got a couple of small set pieces at the entrance to the candy shop for the lighting and the fog effects. And that is pretty much it. Pretty standard stuff for Diagon Alley this year. Nothing new over here. It is pretty quiet over here in San Francisco for Horror Night stuff. We still have the Jaws Summer Spectacular thing going on through July 4th, so not until that's done until we get anything over here, but soon enough we'll start to see some stuff pop up. We do have a few small poles that they have added to the tops of the buildings here, probably for some lighting that they'll add up there at some point, but that's pretty much it for right now. Not much action going on over here by Fast and the Furious, the house over here. They got the tent set up back there, but when it comes to the facade, not too much yet, but hopefully soon enough we can start to see some action going on back there. Across from the entrance to the Fast and the Furious ride, we do have this truss over here with a bunch of lights set up on top of it. You can see at the top that all of these lights are pointed across the way, so we'll probably have some graphics, some Horror Nights graphics shining over here on the side of this building. Next up, we've got New York with a ton of lighting updates. They have added so many lights to this area. Kind of the same as Hollywood. We'll just do a bit of a little montage kind of highlighting everything. Most of these lights that you see through here are going to be new. Kind of the same concept. The ones that are all black are the ones for Horror Nights, and the ones that are colored like the buildings are the ones that are there all year round. But yeah, we'll just kind of highlight all the lights, and then next time we won't cover any of these again unless they add some new ones back here. Over here in this alleyway on the side of Finnegan's by Boris Schuster's office, they've got a few lights up there as well shining down. A lot of the speculation maps have highlighted that these scare zones will go down the alleyways this year, so more room in this area, more scare zone is always better. So not going to complain about that at all. In addition, on this pathway over here by Transformers, they've added a bunch of lights over here. This is definitely new. They didn't have these lights over here last year pointing down, so this scare zone is definitely shaping up to be a lot bigger this year. Even over here on the side of Boris Schuster's office up there at the top, they've added a few lights as well. And finally, for New York, over here on top of the Tonight Shop, we've got two last little lights up there shining down. More evidence that we'll be able to walk back through this Fast and the Furious construction area somehow to get to those sound stages are these trusses over here by the bathrooms. This is where they had it last year to get back to those houses, and they're set up again. So yeah, it's looking like somehow we'll be able to walk back through there to get to those houses. Over here in the Music Plaza section, they've got 6 trusses set up over here, and I do believe these are for Horror Nights. I don't think we have any events coming up between now and then that necessitates having these trusses here, so yeah, I do think they have these set up for Horror Nights already as well. And we are finally nearing the end of our lighting journey today. It's basically all lights and truss work so far, but they've got a few lights set up along this pathway here. Really glad that they've extended the scare zone down this area. In previous years, this was closed off due to various issues with the Minions, so they couldn't put lights up here, but yeah, it looks like this is returning again, so that's pretty awesome in my opinion. And like we talked about earlier, it's pretty easy to distinguish the Horror Nights lights from the normal ones. The Horror Nights lights are all black, whereas the normal ones are painted kind of the same color as the buildings over here, so pretty easy to distinguish between the two. And that is going to do it for the first Halloween Horror Nights construction update for this season. Lots of lighting and trusses, a couple of props here and there back by Diagon Alley, but we had to get a good baseline down for the rest of the season. On these No Frills updates, we only cover new stuff as they add it every week, so we won't cover any lights or trusses in the future unless it's been added and it's new. So we can just kind of focus on the fun stuff the rest of the season. Got a lot of fun stuff planned for this season after the construction updates, covering all the haunts from here to California. If you're new here, make sure to go back and check my back catalog. Got a lot of good stuff back there that I'm sure you'll enjoy if you're into Horror Nights. So as always, thank you for your time and for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.